automation with Python and the ACI Toolkit. Okay, everyone. In the previous video, we configured the ACI Toolkit, we set it up, we have our VM ready to go, we install all dependencies, and we are good to go, okay? So now, this is what's going to happen. In this particular video, we are going to do some API calls to, one, get some information, and two, configure some settings or configure some objects, okay? So, in a nutshell, this is how it goes. We got the APIC, we got our machine, and the machine, it's going to use the ACI Toolkit to do a REST API call to the APIC, so then the APIC can push the configuration onto my fabric. Kind of cool, huh? So we have a fully automated way of maintaining our infrastructure by just creating a simple script that will automate a massive task. Let's say you have to do 100 objects, 200 objects. You're not going to go one by one and configure that on the GUI. It will be so painful. You do a script and you automate that task, okay? So let's go ahead and jump. Let's take a look at the ACI Toolkit now that we have everything ready to go, and let's test it out. Very important, in the ACI Toolkit, we have a file. Listen carefully, a file called credentials.py.sample, okay? So that's in the ACI Toolkit. Once you install everything, download the whole repository from GitHub, and you have it ready on your VM, you're gonna have a file called credentials.py.sample. This is the file that you have to use to create a credentials.py file, right? And feed your administrator account. And this is what the toolkit will use as credentials to do that REST API call. So make sure, I'm going to do it on the video, so don't worry. So you can take a look at that, but that's like super important because without you cannot log in into the APIC by doing the REST API call and push out your script. Okay, so we are in the virtual machine now. And like I told you, so once we get into the ACI Toolkit folder, let me actually go back. This was from the previous video. So you're going to get the ACI Toolkit folder. If you do ls, you're going to get a sample folder and we can play with those scripts. Okay, so we go into samples and then ls, and those are the scripts that we have available. If you see right here, we have a credentials.py.sample file. That is the file that we need to modify with our own credentials in order for the API call to happen and have a successful authentication into the APIC, okay? So let me go ahead and invoke that real quick. Credentials. And it seems that I don't have my Vim, and Vim is my text editor, okay? So let me go ahead and install it real quick. Okay, once it's installed, we should be good to go. Okay, cool. Press up arrow. And there you go. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. This file, we need to change that with our own settings in order for the call to happen. In order for the call to be successful, it has to log in into the APIC using the admin account, right? So I am going to build a new file by copying all this information. And let me exit out of here. And now let's build that credentials.py. Remember, it's credentials.py. And we have that new file. Now we're going to insert that text back here. And we got the text. Now I am going to change the URL to point to my management IP of the APIC. Great. And the admin is the same, but the password is my password. And obviously I got a censor. Okay. And now escape, write, quit. Boom. Now we have the file. If we want to see the file again, there you have it. Phew. Awesome. Okay. Now we have everything ready to go. Let's take a look. Okay. So the first one, let's show APGs. Okay. Let's do that one. So the way you do it, copy Python version 3, paste. That's awesome, right? That's so awesome. Okay. So what we see here, and it seems to be that there's some sort of issue on the syntax, but nonetheless, we still got the output, okay? So we see a breakdown of what we have configured in my ACI fabric. So remember those tenants that we built on the previous videos? There you have them. And we have the application profile and finally the EPG to the application profile. So this is literally what we did was just this, and it gave a complete report of what is configured in the fabric. This is amazing. And this is just to see the APGs, okay, the endpoint groups. Let's take a look and see if we can export or see all the contracts. There you got it. ACI, show contracts, copy, and change that to be this one. Enter. Look at that. All the contracts in my tenants. External sites, we got the contract site 1 to site 2, operations farm, DNS, and web SRV farm, we see the majority of them. You see? Like super, super simple. Once you get everything configured, it's very, 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 very powerful. Okay? So let me see one more of a show, and then we're gonna do one for create. And this is gonna be very, very interesting. Okay, show subnets. Let's take a look at show subnets. And Python 3, paste, and whoa, look at this one. I see the bridge domain along with the IP of that bridge domain and in which tenant it is. Like, do you want to go to the GUI and go and expand all those subsections in order for you just to see this? Or do you want to just run this command and get this information in no time? You see the power of automation? This is something that you're not going to be able to do if you log into the GUI. Like, this is literally, it will take us like 10 minutes to write everything and get all this information out, okay? Okay, so let's take a look and see what else can we do. Now, let's do a new config. Let's do a tenant, all right? Let me go ahead. Before that, I want to log into the APIC. I want to log into the APIC so we can see that happening in real time. As we create the object, we want to see it popping on the GUI. Log in, and boom. Let's go to tenants, and let's go back into my terminal. And now let's create a tenant. Okay, let's grab this one. We're going to create a tenant, but obviously we need to populate the name of the tenant, right? We cannot just run it. We have to add a name. So this is what we're going to do. Let's use our good old friend vim, paste, and this is a script, okay? So let me take a look at this real quick. And there should be a section where we add the name of the tenant. And there you go. So if you see here, define static values to pass. And by the way, kudos to the team that built this. This is amazing. And I know that it took a lot of time and effort, but this definitely gives value to the ACI platform. I love the toolkit, and I've used this to maintain and support and administer my environments. I think it's an amazing tool, and it saved a lot of time. So thank you. Okay, so we have the default tenant name, and basically this is where we want to edit to the name of what we want to see. In this case, you see, edit this if you wish to set them differently, which we want, right? What it's going to do is going to invoke my credentials, and the credentials, it's basically the credentials.py, the file. And then once it has that, it's going to store a variable to default, grabbing the name of what we populated. And then if we see, this is where the instruction happened. It calls the ACI function, and then it calls tenant, and then adds the tenant name to it. Let's go ahead and modify this real quick. So let's say, okay, and let me go ahead and change this to, let's say, section 7, Python. Cool. I'll press escape, IQ, and it's saved. Look, right now, this is all we see. We should see a new tenant popping in after we run the script. So let's go ahead and do it. And let's go ahead real quick here and grab tenant, which we already modified. And by the way, I can grab it from here. Copy, paste. And it seems to be that there's some sort of syntax issue, but it still ran. Look at that. There you go. Done. Literally done. Now, let's do one more. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, let's take a look at this one, which is the ACI demo contract. Let's see what's this for. Okay, so this one, it's going to... Oh, this one is very cool. This one is going to build a tenant. It's going to do the app profile. It's going to create those two EPGs. It's going to do this VRF, this bridge domain, attach the web and database endpoint group to the bridge domains, and apply the contract with this particular filter. So this does absolutely everything from a initial configuration on the tenant. Let's just run it the way it is. What's the tenant name will be ACI Toolkit demo. Okay, let's run it and see if it did it. Python, same, and we are running demo and contract. py. And yeah, this basically what it did, it grabbed a JSON file, which is basically the inventory file with all those variables, and pushed that with the API to the APIC. So it did a REST API call and it grabbed all the variables with the information and pushed that to the APIC. So if you see this, it means that it worked. Let me take a look and see. There you go. Yeah. So this is incredible. This actually does the whole thing. There you go. Literally what it took, less than a second. And what you do, you grab this file, the demo contract, and you change it the way you want it. And then just run it and you have the whole thing built. You see? The power of automation is here. Again, this is literally, we're just touching the surface. Like, we can go deep into scripting and build some automated tasks. Like, if something happened, do this. If something else happens, do that. It literally is so powerful that you can automate practically everything in the ACI fabric, okay? Alrighty, so this is the end of this video, and let's keep on the show. Okay, everyone, in our next video, we're going to take a look at automation in bulk with the ACI Toolkit. Thank you for watching.